Hi Saggy, welcome back to our channel. I hope that you guys are doing well, having a great Wednesday evening, because this is when I'm recording this reading for you. All right, guys, let's jump right in. I feel like this is a reading about your next trip or your next vacation. Okay, so that type of energy has been coming out a lot for my Saggies. As you guys can see, if you're subscribed to the channel, a lot of your messages talk about a vacation, a vacation, something going on. Some of you guys may be kind of confused about that because you're like, I don't have any plans ahead. But there could be an opportunity coming towards you the end of this month of May, or it could even be during June. Wait, May, June. Yes, during June that you do get some spontaneous opportunity to actually go on a trip. And yeah, I think this reading's about that. So, first and foremost, we have getaway. All right, so this talks about you, Sag, going on some type of vacation or trip. You could be beginning a new adventure, and you could be running away with someone, maybe a lover, a love interest, maybe a family member, maybe a friend. Okay, so it feels like you're not going to be going alone. It doesn't feel like solo travel. Definitely feels like you're going to be in some type of dynamic duo, which would be more fun. Okay, so getaway is here. All right, and we also have muse. So whoever this person is, they are deeply inspired by you. You could be inspiring or motivating this person right now. It feels like this person could also be someone who has is a music lover. So maybe this is someone who always likes to listen to different types of music. They could be someone that maybe they played a playlist around you and you really like that song or their music taste. Also feels like this person could be getting messages about you through music at this time. I always forget to do that. Hold on, guys. Let's shut that up. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so pay attention to music. You could be getting a lot of messages through music at this time. But when it comes to this person that you could be going on a trip with, I do feel like it's going to definitely deepen the emotional bond that you and them have. All right, so it could definitely be a romantic trip, guys, but if not, it definitely could be someone that you're just going to have a really strong bond with. And I feel like the trip deepens that. Last but not least, we have toxic here. All right, so toxic talks about unhealthy habits, patterns, can talk about poison, delusions, and nasty behaviors. You could be trying to get away from that toxicity by going on this trip. All right, so maybe you really need a break from your circumstances or a break outside of your environment. Maybe your environment could be a little toxic. Maybe you feel a little, like it's putting you not in the best moods and you're ready to kind of get outside of yourself or outside of your environment and just take a little time off. This also could be like work, once you decide to go on this trip, it gives you that free time away from work, and that could be really healthy for you. Okay, so it feels like you and this person are trying to run away from some type of toxic environment, maybe together or even in your separate individual lives. And let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. One second, if I could pick it up. There we go. All right, so we have foresight. Usually this talks about something that's right around the corner that's about to happen. You just have to make a decision to go or to say yes. And we also have drama here, okay? So definitely someone, either this person may tell you that they're dealing with a lot of drama and they need to get away, or maybe this is also how you feel. All right, so drama, trying to get away from the toxicity, trying to get away from the drama, really just trying to clear your space and head to a new environment, okay? So, sorry guys, I feel like I have a tickle in my throat. All right, so give me some messages for Sag surrounding this getaway or even this person that they could be going on this trip with. What can you tell me about this? Give me some messages for Sag. Tell me about this for Sagittarius. All right, definitely going on a trip, Sag. I don't care what you say. I see a trip coming up for you, okay? I definitely see that for you. All right, let's see what's going on here. I'll pull 4 cards, by the way. Let me get one last card for Sag. Okay. All right, bottom of the deck, we have Hermit and we also have the Hangman. All right, so first and foremost, with this Hermit energy, you may be isolating yourself. I think for your week ahead reading that I did on Monday, it talked about you going into Hermit, especially during maybe the weekend. Or you just may feel like you want to isolate from a lot of distractions right now. Maybe you're really focused on your goals, your priorities. You also may be trying to isolate because you could be in a toxic environment and you may want to just stay to yourself, keep to yourself. Okay, so Hermit energy. You could also be feeling stuck by your circumstances. Something could be stressing you out about that. Maybe you really would like to get out and get away permanently, but that's not an option right now. So, with the Hangman, it just kind of feels like a lack of progress, or it may feel like you just don't have a choice of moving away from this toxic environment. And this is just your circumstances, and this is just the cards that you've been dealt right now. All right. So I feel like that could be really stressing you out here with the 10 of Wands. And if this is not you, this is definitely someone else. And maybe this is why they're coming up with this bright idea about going on a trip together. All right. The cards coming out for you, we have the World, we have the Eight of Cups, we have the Sun, and we have the Eight of Swords. All right, let's talk about it. Well, first and foremost, the World is travel. It's traveling, it's taking a trip, okay? The World is also very interesting because it feels like at the time that you're taking this trip or vacation or you're taking this break or time off, it's coming to an end of a difficult cycle for you, okay? So it's almost like this trip or this time off is really pinpointing the end of a difficult chapter, a stressful chapter, an end of really uncomfortable circumstances, maybe even the end of toxicity or drama in your life. So it's very interesting how you're breaking away, but also something is ending. So by the time that you come back, you don't really have to experience that anymore, which is a good thing, okay? So the World is here. There's also a sense of achievement as well that maybe someone could be celebrating. So for, more commonly, this could be someone's birthday. And obviously, I know it's not your birthday, right? But it could be some type of birthday. It could be some type of anniversary, okay? It could be like an engagement, okay? So there's some type of milestone, or there's some type of like completion, which can be birthday energy, or a loop from an anniversary that could be celebrated here. There's something to celebrate with that World card because something is being achieved. Another year on this life, that you made it this far. I don't know. So that's what I'm seeing with the World. Let's clarify that World energy. But I think the most significant thing, and also this being a major arcana, it's a really big deal, okay? Bigger than you're anticipating. So tell me about the World for Sag. Tell me about the World. All right. I feel like the energy around you as this chapter is closing is just wanting to stay to yourself. For example, like say you're working a job that has been very toxic, and maybe you're about to get some type of transfer. Maybe you're actually been applying to jobs behind the scenes and you're getting a job offer. It's like up until that last day, you could just be staying to yourself, keeping to yourself. You're almost trying to avoid some type of drama or toxicity, okay? So it's like until this comes to an end, I'm just going to stay to myself. Say you're in an uncomfortable living situation, you have a roommate who has been like the roommate from hell. I think there's a Netflix show about that as well. So maybe you want to go watch that. But or I think it's called The Worst Roommate Ever. Okay, I may watch that tonight. I need to catch up on the new episodes. All right, but anyway, until your lease is coming up to an end, you could just be, not really interacting, staying in your room all of the time with that hermit energy. Just really trying to count down the days when something is over, okay? So this is how you know that the end is near because there's some type of uncomfortability that you may be feeling with that Four of Pentacles. You also may feel like you don't want to retaliate or react to certain things. You rather just keep to yourself, okay? Four of Pentacles. Also with the Four of Pentacles, this could feel like someone or some type of situation not wanting to let you go. So as you are trying to move forward in life, maybe level up, maybe move out, maybe transfer, maybe start a new position, it may feel like when it's coming to the end, something is really having a tight fist on you or your energy, really making it difficult for you to slide out. I also feel like if you are going to need to take time off from work, you may have some difficult moments trying to secure your time off, your paid time off, okay? Or even your schedule. But I still see it happening, okay? So even if someone gives you a difficult time, it's still happening for you. Also, the Seven of Swords is telling you to be strategic. So this is a good time for you to plan how you're going to have your out. If you need to be strategic about what you say to probably get that time off, then do it. If you need to keep things private and do things behind the scenes until you start your next job, then do that, okay? So it's telling you to be very strategic. If you are looking for a job, and, you know, when it comes to maybe why they're asking you why you're leaving a job or, you know, about your job timeline, be strategic in your answers, okay? I'm not telling you to lie. I'm telling you to just be strategic. Also, be strategic about what you provide for the callback number for some of your supervisors if you know that there's a weird relationship. So, you know, definitely look for the, I forget what it's called, but I think it's called the work number. Someone can comment down below if you know what I'm talking about, but it's like where they don't have to speak to anyone. They can just verify that you worked at a certain company. So something's telling you to be very strategic. If you already have plans in the work, and you already know what I'm talking about, Sag, definitely want to keep it under wraps until that very moment. You don't want anyone to sabotage this for you. You don't want anyone to, you know, take it to heart and then do something to ruin your moment, okay? So there's something about something coming to an end or a big trip coming up, and you really have to keep it to yourself and you have to zip it and you can't really say much, even if it excites you, all right? Tell me about the Eight of Cups, okay? I definitely see that you're walking away or you're creating distance emotionally for what no longer fulfills you. This could be a certain environment. This could be your job, your current job. This could be a connection or connections, okay? So something no longer emotionally fulfills you, and it feels like you're moving farther and farther and farther and farther away. You have the spirit of the nomad, so you're ready to make a new place your home, whatever that may mean. All right, so tell me about the Eight of Cups. I'm hearing like if I could leave now, I would, right? So there definitely is like with that hangman energy, something that's kind of holding this process up, but it is going to be done. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. All right, we have the Tower. Again, once people or maybe this person or the situation starts to catch on that you're out, it will be a big shock to them. Okay, so you're definitely keeping things under the wraps and moving behind the scenes. Once people see that you're going to be maybe taking this trip, or even if this is about you just changing your environment permanently, whatever's coming to a close for you, it will shock a lot of people with the Tower. All right. I also feel like you've had some type of reality check recently where maybe you had certain illusions. All right. Because toxic is, this card talks about delusions. So maybe you had a certain delusion about a certain space, environment, connections, and you thought like maybe it wasn't that bad, and now you're starting to see just how bad something is. So something really is like shaking the ground for your thought process and how you are interpreting some type of surrounding. Before, like maybe some months ago, if I would have asked you, you know, like how is it, you would have been like, oh, it can be bad, but it's not horrible, like I still enjoy myself. Now if I was to ask you, you'd be like, this shit is bad. Okay, so there's some type of reality check or something that has changed your perception here where you feel totally detached emotionally and you're ready to walk away from some type of situation. You're no longer emotionally connected. You don't feel passionate fulfilled or even driven to keep something up anymore. All right, let's see. We have the Chariot, all right? You do have career success wherever you're headed. So if you are moving to the next step, if you're getting some type of promotion or level up, if you're moving or switching companies or departments or changing roles, you will have a lot of momentum and forward movement with your career. I also see that, this difficult, stressful time that you've been through, yes, it was difficult, but what it really did and blessed you with is the power of resilience. So it's like you've been through the worst. So if anything ever happens in this new space, you're able to take it on the chin and you won't falter. And it won't trouble you as much as it has in the past because you've been there, done that. You've already learned that lesson. You know how to kind of go through the motions. Okay. So Chariot. Also, too, whoever you're going with on this trip, this person really cares about like career. They care about career success. There also could be like a power couple type of vibe between you two, or if it's like platonic, there's this dynamic duo of wanting to really achieve a lot and go places, go very far, reach the height of success, that kind of energy. So the Chariot is here. All right, so I feel like that's something that you and this person may have in common. Yeah, look, Two of Cups. All right, Two of Cups. Also, what's very special about this person is the Four of Cups. For a long time, you did not feel fulfilled by certain connections. Say this is a friend. You could have friends around, but no one was really sparking your soul. And this is the person who's going to do that. Or if this is romantic, maybe even for some time, if you were in a relationship with this person, this could be the trip that kind of like creates some type of new spark. If you're single and maybe you're going somewhere with someone for the first time, you may really realize that you really have an affinity or a deep connection with this person. Okay, so this almost like this Ace of Cups moment that you've been waiting for. I see that this trip is going to be really well or go very well. It could be a very sunny, warm time when you do go on this trip. I know that's like, you're thinking like, duh, okay, but it's not duh because it could rain. All right. So there's clear skies when you go on this trip, which is good and very lucky. All right. We have to be appreciative of the little things. Now, also with the sun too, I see you being very happy. I see you expressing yourself really big and loud. So that shows that Sag is really happy when you're kind of like the boldest person in the room and you're speaking and you have your humor and you're laughing hard. That's when you know that Sag is really happy. So there's something about you being really happy on this trip, having a really good time. There's this energy of inner child, okay? So just feeling very safe and having a lot of fun, getting into a lot of fun activities that may make your inner child smile. All right, there's an energy of authenticity, like feeling like you can truly be yourself, and whoever's on this trip with you, they're truly being themselves as well. There also may be exposure, so there could be a lot of moments that you snap, like photos, videos, that you post publicly, or this person may post publicly themselves, okay? Tell me about the Sun. All right, Eight of Pentacles. This trip, there was a lot of effort put into I don't know, certain things like the itinerary, or there's a lot of effort put into finding the perfect place to stay. There was a lot of effort put behind the location. There was a lot of effort put behind something. So it feels very special, okay? Because someone almost like dotted all I's and crossed all T's with this. They did their big one. This could be someone who's very good at organizing or planning, okay? Someone who is really good at doing research even with the Eight of Pentacles, because Eight of Pentacles is like perfectionist attitude. So whoever is in charge of maybe planning or putting this together did their big one. They really left no stone unturned, all right? So there's something really happy about that. That kind of like puts a big smile on someone's face, okay? Also, because there's this energy of like, there's nothing that you have to stress about or think about. It's already accounted for, all right? Let's see what else is here. if you know that you're that person who's very organized and you like to plan, I feel like your efforts also will be deeply appreciated, which also will make you feel so good. All right. That someone really values you in that way. I seen the Three of Cups, so lots of fun to be had. There's a lot of fun activities between you and whoever this is. Let's see what's going on here. We have Strength card as well. Wow. All right, you could be doing some activities that require you to have courage or be brave. Okay, so there could be some type of excursion or activity that you do that requires you to be a little brave, or maybe you're going and staying in a spot. Excuse me, guys. You could be staying at a place that requires bravery. For example, when I went to Turkey like 2 years ago, we stayed in some cave hotels. So when you think about that, that requires some bravery, because it's like, okay, the walls are actually stone. Are there bugs in here? Is something gonna fall on me while I'm sleeping? Is there a bat lingering? Like, you just never know. Or maybe you're going to be staying somewhere that has like heights, or maybe you're going to be zip lining, or maybe you're going to be doing something, I don't know, that requires bravery. So Strength card. Strength card also is like feeling like you're totally in control of your environment. So when you're dealing with this toxicity, feels very unsafe because you don't feel in control. You are only in control of yourself, but then you have people that you cannot control, and you don't know what they're going to do, what they're going to say. And then on top of that, it can really bring you out of character. So then that control factor with that kind of is lost as well. But in this environment, you kind of feel like deeply in control. You feel like you can trust whoever you're around to also behave themselves, or that you guys will be very mutable during this trip. And so it's just a really good feeling here with the Strength card, okay? And it really strengthens your bond with this person with the Strength card as well. This is strong Leo energy, by the way, okay? Some of the signs that we have here, we have Capricorn, we have Scorpio, Cancer, strong Leo, and we'll see what else. All right, last card we have here is the Eight of Swords. All right, so this doesn't feel like this has anything to do with the trip. This kind of feels like when you have to return, okay? Right? It's like, I got to go back. I got to return. I got to get back to my day-to-day life again. And the Eight of Swords creeps in, right? There's a lot of anxiety here. You could feel like you're in a controlled environment that you do not like. Something could feel imprisonment type of energy. All right. So tell me about the Eight of Swords. You may feel like you're around a lot of manipulative people. I don't know. What is the Eight of Swords? Eight of Swords is also telling you not to self-sabotage if you're going to be asked. If you're going to be asked, do not try to think of all the things that bring up a lot of worry or doubt or fear about what could go wrong. Go with the flow. You definitely deserve this, and I feel like you're going to have a great time, okay? So be careful of that. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. Yeah, Four of Wands. When you have to return back to your station, okay, because the Four of Wands is like your station, your home. Your home could also be like where you frequent all the time. So this could be work, When you have to return back, there's this energy of like anxiety. Let's see what's else. But remember, something is ending. That could be something that you're missing. You may not know timeline-wise that it's fated as you are going on this getaway, that something is ending for you. Some type of troubling time is ending, okay? So it's not as bad as what you're anticipating, because something is literally at the end. Let's see what else is here. Tell me about the Eight of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords as well. There might be a lot of like gossip about maybe your disappearance. There also could be a lot of people watching you that makes you feel a little weird. Like you feel like you're being watched as you're returning. Okay. Who are these energies? What is this energy? What is that about? Why the Page of Swords? All right. The Empress. Okay. It has something to do with how your abundance, like maybe that you're able to go somewhere so nice, maybe because you're going to be with someone who you really have a strong bond to. It's about something that's growing and evolving for you. This could also be your own growth that you're having here. All right, but it definitely has an energy of like being in high vibrations and your abundance. So someone could be talking about this, or people could be talking about this. There could be a lot of word of mouth going around about Sag as you're returning somewhere. Yeah, 9 of Cups as well. Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of self-centered energies that could be talking about you. Okay. So I don't know. They could be making your departure about them versus Saggy's departure was for Saggy. Okay. So there's almost like this pick me energy or someone who really wants attention and may feel like your disappearance didn't give them the attention that they wanted. Maybe someone doesn't like the attention going towards you for that. For example, if this is a work situation, it could be that when you left, people asked, "Where's Sag?" And people probably miss your energy. People could be around the office saying, "Oh, where's Sag? I didn't see Sag for some days. Oh, where's Sag?" It's almost like someone's getting a little fed up with that question, like, what about me? All right. Because 9 of Cups is very self indulgent, it's a greedy individual in a negative polarity. Okay. It could be someone who's self centered or selfish. All right. So there's that. Now, if you are dealing with someone like this, maybe you share an environment with someone like this, you could be afraid of how they are just watching you too much. Okay. Page of Swords could be like really, really watching. Also, Page of Swords could be the energy of jumping to conclusions. So if this person had no information about where you went, who you went with, what you did, they could be just jumping to certain conclusions and making a narrative in their head. Okay. So there's some type of energy like that as well. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Sag. I'm definitely going to do an extended. I want to talk all about your trip and what you can expect. I want to talk about the person that you could be going on this trip with. I also want to talk about this self-centered energy that you may have to be around as you are returning and what's going to happen with that. Okay? And more so, too, about the end of this chapter that's happening for you that you may not be aware of. All right, so if you do want those messages, make sure to follow me to the extended. It also will be posted in the Sagittarius Vault. Guys, if you don't know what the Vault is, it basically is, it's a space where I put all of my extended. So not only just the extended from this video, but all the extendeds that I have ever done on this channel from the beginning are in that vault. And, you know, it's just a more economical way of being able to get all of the extendeds that I do in the past and also the extendeds that I will continue to do for a great price. And this month only, by the end of this month, this deal will be over. But this month only, I have decreased the price for my founding members, who are the people who join early on. And with that decreased price, they will be able to maintain that membership for a lifetime. All right, so after this month of May, the price will be going back up to its regular price, and only my founding members who joined this month will be able to keep that. So it's very special, and if you're interested, then definitely check that out and make sure that you grab the sale price this month so you can keep it for the rest of the year and moving forward. Okay. Before we go, let's get some last words. Let's see what you need to know. Anything else to confirm? Tell me more about this situation for Sag. Tell me more about this situation for Sag. All right. So we have playing the game. All right. So you may have to play the game temporarily as this chapter is closing out for you. Playing the game to win until you're able to move forward from this situation that could be difficult for you. We have past love here. So past love could be coming towards you at this time. Maybe someone from your past that you're not on bad terms with could be offering up this trip. So that would be interesting. But also past love could be some type of other situation that's coming towards you. All right, this month of May. We do have promotion. So you could be getting a promotion in your finances and your career very soon. And this also could be the end of a difficult chapter in your old role. We have snooping and stalking, okay? I definitely feel like when you're coming back from this break, someone could be snooping or stalking because they could just be a little miserable. I don't know how else to explain that. We have struggling inside. So maybe you feel like you could be struggling inside, but you're just trying to put on the best face until this chapter is ended for you. We have self-sabotage here. You know, if you are feeling down, if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, try not to make rash decisions out of that. Try not to sabotage yourself from new opportunities, from a trip, from, you know, being around the people who actually uplift you, okay? Try not to isolate too much also with this card. All right, you have spirit guides reaching out. So there could be some very interesting messages and ways that your spirit guides could be reaching out to you. This could be from music to signs, okay? This could be even like, you know, things happening around you that may be a little weird, but it's definitely your angels and spirit guides reaching out. We have missing you. Someone misses you. We have bad friends. So you may have some bad friends around you, and maybe that's also an end of that chapter. Maybe you're going to be walking away from these bad friends. All right, we have obsessed. Someone could be obsessed with you and making your business their business, and that could be uncomfortable. We have having a good time. All right, so definitely make sure that you go because you are going to be having a good time. And last but not least, you have opportunity right in front of you. All right, so make sure that you're not missing some opportunity to go, to travel. Again, those of you who feel like you don't know how this is going to happen, you never know how it may unfold. All right, so keep your eyes peeled. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, let me know what's going on with you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and thank you so much for joining the family. Also, if you would like to get deeper messages about this reading, follow me to the extended or join the vault today. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.